What if the one thing holding you back isn't your talent, your intelligence, or your experience, but a set of invisible signals you're sending out every single second? Most people think this is about faking it, but they miss the science of becoming it. 99% will skip the final chapter on daily integration, and they will be stuck in the acting phase forever, never truly feeling the change in their bones. Internal blueprint. We all have an internal blueprint, a mental script that runs on a loop telling us who we are. For so many of us, especially as we navigate new chapters in life, that script is filled with words like not enough, imposter, or what if they find out I don't belong here? This isn't just a feeling, it's a powerful directive that your brain sends to your body. When your internal blueprint says you are small, your body listens. It curls inward, it constricts, your shoulders round, your voice gets quieter. You literally take up less space in the world. This is not a conscious choice. It's a deeply programmed biological response. Your body is trying to be congruent with the story your mind is telling it. It's a survival mechanism, really. The brain thinks, if I believe I am not a threat, I must physically show that I am not a threat to avoid conflict. It's a relic of a much older, more primitive time, but that programming is still running the show. The problem is that this becomes a self-perpetuating feedback loop. Your mind tells your body you're not confident, so your body adopts a low-power physical signature. Then, other people subconsciously read those cues. They see the rounded shoulders, they hear the hesitant voice, and they reflect that perception back to you. They might not give you the big project, they might interrupt you in a meeting, they might not make eye contact. Their behavior then provides proof to your brain that its initial assessment was correct. You really don't belong here. So the internal blueprint gets reinforced, etched even deeper, and the cycle continues, spiraling downward. It's a quiet, invisible prison, and we are both the inmate and the guard, reinforcing our own confinement with every single thought and every single posture. Breaking free isn't about trying to just think your way out. That rarely works. The thoughts are too ingrained. The secret, the science-backed secret, is to bypass the mind and start with the body. The science of embodied cognition is one of the most fascinating fields right now, and it tells us something our intuition has always known. Our body is not just a vehicle for our brain. The mind-body connection is a two-way street. Yes, your thoughts influence your posture, but your posture also powerfully influences your thoughts. When you intentionally change your physical state, you are sending a new, disruptive signal back to your brain. You are, in essence, hacking the feedback loop. You are sending a new piece of data that contradicts the old, tired story. The brain, which is a pattern-matching machine, receives this new data, this expansive posture, this steady gaze, and it has to make sense of it. It thinks, wait a second. The blueprint says we are small and nervous, but the body is behaving as if it is large and confident. Which one is true? This moment of cognitive dissonance is the crack in the prison wall. It's the opportunity for change. By consistently feeding the brain this new contradictory physical data, you begin to rewrite the internal blueprint. You are not faking it. You are providing new evidence. You are conducting a science experiment with yourself as the subject, and the hypothesis is, what if my old story is wrong? This is not about arrogance or being better than anyone else. This is about alignment. It's about creating congruence between the best version of yourself that you know exists on the inside and the way you show up on the outside. It's about giving your inner potential a physical voice, a physical signature, so that the world, and more importantly, you yourself, can finally see it. Physical signature. Your body is broadcasting a constant stream of signals, a physical signature that tells the world how to treat you before you've even said a word. People make a judgment about your confidence, your competence, and your warmth in a fraction of a second, based almost entirely on these nonverbal cues. The beautiful part is that these cues are learnable. You can learn to intentionally craft a physical signature that reflects the best, most confident version of you. This isn't about putting on an act, it's about adopting the posture of the person you want to become. And in doing so, you actually begin to feel like that person. The first and most powerful cue is simply taking up space. Confident people are not afraid to be expansive. Think about it, when we feel victorious, we throw our arms up in a V shape. When we feel defeated, we curl into a ball. This is a universal human pattern. So, how do we apply this? It starts with your posture. I want you to imagine a string pulling the crown of your head gently up toward the ceiling. Feel your spine lengthen. Now, roll your shoulders up toward your ears and then roll them back and down, allowing them to rest in a wide, open position. This single adjustment does two things. Internally, it literally opens up your chest cavity, allowing you to breathe more deeply, which calms your nervous system. Externally, it signals openness, confidence, and ease. A person with open shoulders and an elongated spine is non-verbally saying, "I am comfortable here, I am not a threat, and I do not feel threatened." It is a quiet, powerful statement of belonging. This is your neutral, your home base. From here, all other confident cues can be built. Next, let's talk about your hands. Our hands are one of the most expressive parts of our body, and they are a huge indicator of our internal state. When we are nervous, we tend to hide our hands. We put them in our pockets, we clasp them together tightly, we fidget with our clothes. These are all low-power, self-soothing behaviors. They are cues that broadcast anxiety. To act as if you are the best, you need to learn to use your hands with intention. One of the most powerful things you can do is simply keep your hands visible. Rest them on the table in a meeting. Let them hang comfortably at your sides when you're standing. This signals trust and transparency. You are non-verbally saying, "I have nothing to hide." A more advanced cue is the steeple. This is when you bring your fingertips together to form a kind of church steeple. You see this gesture used by leaders, by negotiators, by people who are in a state of calm, confident contemplation. It's a precision cue. It says, "I have thought about this and I am certain of my position." You don't want to overuse it, but in a moment where you need to project thoughtful confidence, it is an incredibly powerful tool. Another powerful gesture is using your hands to illustrate your points. When you speak, let your hands move with your words, using open palm gestures. This not only makes you appear more charismatic and engaging, but the physical act of gesturing actually helps your brain to access language and formulate thoughts more clearly. Your hands become an extension of your mind, broadcasting your confidence and your competence to the world. Verbal cues. Once you have mastered your physical signature, we need to address the way you sound. Your voice is a powerful instrument, and the way you use it can either reinforce your confidence or completely undermine it. You can be standing in a perfect power pose, but if your voice is weak, hesitant, and filled with uncertainty, the message is lost. The first and most important verbal cue of confidence is vocal power. This does not mean being loud. It means speaking from your diaphragm, the muscle below your lungs. Most people, especially when nervous, speak from their throat. This creates a thin, reedy, and often shaky sound. To find your diaphragm, I want you to place a hand on your belly. Now, take a deep breath and feel your hand move outward. As you speak, I want you to imagine your voice originating from that deep place, from your core. It will feel more grounded, more resonant, and more stable. This grounded vocal tone is the foundation. Now we must look at the melody of your speech, what we call your vocal inflection. When we are uncertain or asking for approval, we have a tendency to end our statements with an upward inflection, as if we are asking a question. We say, "I think we should go with this plan." That little lift at the end completely strips the power from the statement. It turns a declaration into a plea. To act as if you are the best, you must master the downward inflection. This is when you end your statements with a slight drop in pitch, like a period at the end of a sentence. "I think we should go with this plan." Hear the difference? One is a suggestion seeking validation, the other is a confident assertion. This is one of the most powerful vocal cues you can learn. It signals certainty and authority. Practice it. Record yourself speaking and listen for those upward inflections. It's a hard habit to break, but it is absolutely transformative. Finally, we must talk about the words we use, and more importantly, the non-words. I'm talking about filler words, the ums, the ahs, the likes, the you knows. These verbal placeholders are the sound of a brain buffering. They signal to the listener that you are not entirely sure of what you are about to say. They create static in your communication, diluting the power of your message. Eradicating them completely is difficult, but reducing them is a key practice. The secret is not to try and talk faster to fill the space. The secret is to fall in love with the pause. The pause is not a sign of weakness, it is a sign of confidence. It is the sound of a person who is so comfortable with their own thoughts that they do not need to fill every single millisecond with noise. When you feel an coming, simply close your mouth and take a silent breath. The pause will feel much longer to you than it does to your listener. To them, it will sound thoughtful, deliberate, and confident. You are giving your words space to land. You are giving your ideas the respect they deserve. A powerful physical signature combined with a powerful verbal signature is an almost unstoppable combination. Mindset loop, we have talked about changing your body and changing your voice. Now let's talk about the magic that happens inside your brain when you do this. This is the science behind why acting as if is not faking, but is in fact a powerful biological process of becoming. This is the mindset loop. When you intentionally adopt the physical and verbal cues of confidence, you are not just putting on a performance for other people. You are sending a powerful stream of new data directly to your own brain, and your brain chemistry literally begins to change in response. This is not positive thinking. This is physiological reality. Researchers like Amy Cuddy and others have explored this in depth. When you hold an expansive, high-power posture for as little as 2 minutes, your body chemistry begins to shift. Your brain triggers a decrease in the production of cortisol, which is the primary stress hormone. High levels of cortisol are associated with feelings of anxiety, fear, and shutdown. So, by simply changing your posture, you are telling your brain to calm down, that the situation is under control. You are turning down the volume on your own inner critic, on your own anxiety. This is a profound act of self-regulation. You are using your body as a lever to change your emotional state. At the same time, holding these powerful postures has been shown to increase the levels of testosterone. Now, testosterone is often associated with aggression, but in this context, it is the hormone of confidence, of risk tolerance, of feeling powerful and assertive. So in just 2 minutes, you have created a hormonal cocktail of confidence within your own body. You have chemically engineered a state of being that is more assertive and less reactive to stress. You feel more confident because, on a biological level, you are more confident. The acting has become a physiological fact. This is the mindset loop in action. You adopt the external cues. Your brain chemistry changes in response. This new brain chemistry makes it easier and more natural to feel confident. These feelings of confidence then make it easier and more natural to maintain the confident external cues. The loop begins to spiral upward. Each rotation reinforces the last. This is the process of neuroplasticity. You are literally rewiring your brain, creating new neural pathways for confidence. The old, worn-out path of "I'm not good enough" begins to grow over with disuse. The new, strong, well-paved path of "I belong here" becomes your default. It's no longer an act. It has become your new internal blueprint. You have not faked it. You have embodied it until it has become your authentic truth. Social proof. Once you have started to master your internal state through your physical and verbal cues, an incredible thing begins to happen in your interactions with others. The world begins to reflect your new reality back to you. This is the power of social proof. Humans are social creatures, and we are constantly, subconsciously, looking to each other for cues on how to behave and how to perceive one another. When you walk into a room acting as if you are the best, not arrogant, but calm, confident, and present, you are providing a powerful set of cues for everyone around you. You are, in essence, teaching them how to see you. Think about the science of mirror neurons. These are a fascinating part of our brain that fire not only when we perform an action, but also when we see someone else perform that same action. They are the basis of empathy, of connection, of our ability to understand each other on a deep, intuitive level. When you project an aura of calm confidence, the mirror neurons in the people you are interacting with begin to fire in a similar pattern. They begin to subconsciously mirror your state. Your calm becomes their calm. Your confidence puts them at ease. You are not just managing your own internal state. You are actively co-regulating the emotional state of the entire room. This is the foundation of charisma. This effect creates another powerful, upward spiraling feedback loop. You project confidence. Others perceive this confidence, and because of their own internal biases and the effect of their mirror neurons, they begin to treat you as a confident, competent person. They listen more attentively when you speak. They seek out your opinion. They give you more positive, nonverbal feedback, more eye contact, more head nods, more smiles. Your brain, which is constantly scanning the social environment for feedback, registers all of this positive data. It sees this social proof and it says, aha, the new blueprint is correct. Others see me as confident and capable, therefore I must be. This external validation is incredibly powerful. It is the final piece of the puzzle that locks the new identity into place. The internal change you initiated through your body is now being reinforced and amplified by your entire social world. This is why the initial effort is so important. You have to be the one to send the first signal. You cannot wait for others to treat you as confident before you feel confident. It does not work that way. You must be the source of the initial cue. You must act as if so that you can begin to feel as if, so that others can begin to see you as if, which in turn solidifies your own belief that you are. It is a beautiful, interconnected dance between your inner world and your outer world, and it all begins with the simple, courageous choice to change your physical and verbal signature. Daily practice. This all sounds wonderful in theory, but how do we integrate this into our real, messy, everyday lives without feeling like we are a fraud, like we are putting on a performance? The secret is not to try and be on all the time. That is exhausting and inauthentic. The secret is to build small, consistent, daily practices. It is about creating triggers and rituals that make these new behaviors a natural part of your day. It is not about a personality transplant. It is about a series of small, intentional upgrades. One of the most powerful practices I teach is the doorway trigger. Every time you are about to walk through a doorway into a new space, your office, a meeting room, a social gathering, even your own kitchen, you use the doorway as a physical trigger to reset your posture. Before your hand touches the handle, you take one deep breath. You imagine that string pulling your head up. You roll your shoulders back and down. You put a gentle, confident smile on your face. You are taking 2 seconds to intentionally choose the physical signature you want to carry into that new space. It is a small, private ritual that no one else needs to see, but it completely changes the energy you bring into the room. If you do this every time you walk through a doorway, you will be practicing confident posture dozens of times a day, building that new neural pathway until it becomes automatic.